You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, everyone. Welcome to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young. Thank you for joining us today. We're going to be speaking today with Candy Udell, president of luxury London Jewelers brand and founder of Rescue Paw Foundation. But before we get into talking with Candy about the wonderful things that she's doing for animals through her platform at London Jewelers, sit, relax, and we'll be right back after these short messages.
We'll be right back after a short pause.
You love your dog and you want to spend as much time with him as you can. But in your car can be distracting and dangerous for you both. You want what's best for your dog, and now you can give it to him. PupSaver is the simple, secure solution for car safety. And now PupSaver has optional seatbelt straps. Just move the passenger seat all the way back, pull the seatbelt out until it clicks or stops, then use the provided clip to lock the seatbelt at the retraction point. Attach PupSaver's seatbelt safety straps and release the slack until just snug around the top. Then reclip at the seatbelt retraction point. Then latch the tether, which you've adjusted to the length of your dog's front legs, onto his harness or collar, and you're done! Your dog is comfy, secure against roaming, and still near enough to pet. In a sudden stop or impact, the PupSaver will protect your dog from the dashboard and windshield by enveloping him like a catcher's mitt and staying securely on the seat. Secure, safe, simple, PupSaver.
For more information, go to pupsaver.com.
Pet Life Radio, the #1 pet radio network on the planet, joins forces with iHeartRadio to put the power of your pets in your pocket. Awesome! Download the iHeartRadio app and rock Pet Life Radio on your phone, on your tablet, on your Xbox, in your car. Pet talk, pet tunes, and fun pet times. Pet Life Radio and iHeartRadio. Positively Possum.
Let's talk pets on PetLifeRadio.com.
Welcome back. You're listening to Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio, and I'm your host, Jody Miller-Young. We're with Candy Udell today, the president of London Jewelers and the founder of Rescue Paw Foundation. Candy, first of all, welcome. Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm good. How are you doing today?
I'm great. Thank you for having me as your guest on the show today.
Thank you for being on the show. I think that the London Jewelers story, just to sort of frame things for my listeners, is a fascinating one. You, with your husband, Mark Udell, have been at the helm of this brand for many years. But this is a company that was founded in 1923, and it's really the sort of the quintessential American dream story. Can you tell us a little bit about those early days?
We are a family-owned business, and Charles London, my husband's grandfather, started the business. It was actually in 1926. He came over from Eastern Europe, and he was a watchmaker and a clockmaker. And when he came here, his trade was to repair all these, and he landed in Glen Cove, New York on Long Island. And what he did was he started going to the estates in the area, and he would take care of the clocks and watches at all the estates. So he would be at the Whitneys, the Vanderbilts, the Pratts, the Morgans. He would go to all these beautiful homes.
Wow.
Yeah, it was incredible. And he would just take care of their clocks and watches. They had the 7-day winding clocks back then. And he would be wearing them and winding them. And one day someone came up to him and said, "Mr. London, why don't you open a store?" So he opened a small watch and repair store on Glen Cove on School Street. And he stayed there for many years until his daughter came into the business, which is Fran London, who is my mother-in-law. And when she got married, my father-in-law, Mayor, came in. And they worked there many years. They moved across the street to a bigger store. And when Mark and I got married, we came into the business, and we started the expansion from then. So, yes, London Jewelers is a long-time company, family-held. There are 4 generations in it right now. Well, actually, 4 generations strong. 3 go to work every day, and it's a very interesting place, and we all bring our dogs to work, so they're lucky as well, and we're all together every day.
Oh, that is so lovely. Yeah, that is really lovely, and it's a great story. Since you and Mark took the helm, you've done some incredible things. In, I think it was 1980 or the early 80s, in one of your stores, you created what's become a staple in the jewelry industry by having individual boutiques within the store showcasing each brand, which we see in just about every store today that we go into.
Yes, we started it actually in 1980 in the acquisition of our Wheatley store, Wheatley Plaza. We started the branding process there, and in 1984 we opened up the store in Manhasset in the Americana, and that's where it really became a full-fledged London jeweler store with branding, and it continued from there. And today we have relationships with many world-famous brands where we have the boutiques and we run them. And we have a Cartier store, a boutique. We have Van Cleef & Arpels, and we have David Yurman. We also have Chanel signed jewelry. You know, these are our branded stores. And then we have a 2-store, which is an engagement ring store that we opened that is branded, and that was opened by my son Scott. It's actually the Apple Nike of jewelry stores. It's designed to lure the younger customer in.
Interesting. Sure. Absolutely. Those planning their weddings.
Yeah. So it's worked out very well. They do great with remounts, remodels, making new rings, jewelry, anything that you want to do can be done. And, of course, our London stores, which are 5 of them in Glen Cove, Wheatley, East Hampton, Southampton, and Manhasset. We're a full-service jewelry store.
Right.
All prices, all sizes, all colors.
Wonderful, wonderful. Well, through the relationships that you've built with every major luxury brand, some of which you mentioned, any fun stories to share from back in the day about some of these top designers in the field?
You know, it's really funny. We have a lot of stories to share because a small instance is Panerai, which is a great watch company, which was done by the Italian Navy, and Mark and I, a customer had brought us the Panerai from Italy many years ago before it became famous, and we called them when we saw the watch, and we happened to love the watch, and we called and spoke to Mrs. Panerai herself, and they sent us watches, and we sold them right away, and then we sold them again, and we kept selling them, and they said to us, please be our distributor in the United States. And at the time, we really weren't ready to handle that. So we turned it down, and then it was wound up being purchased by Richemont a couple of years later. And today, the brand is a world-famous brand. So, you know, we have many stories like that. We did the same with Van Cleef & Arpels when it was a sleepy brand, and we helped to build it in the United States. You know, I know David and Sybil Yurman for well over 30 years. They're personal, wonderful friends of ours.
I saw that you and your husband were with him and his wife in a photo on the timeline of the company.
Yes, yes. So we build relationships. We have many wonderful relationships within the industry. And, you know, we're a strong believer that when you have a good relationship, it's like a marriage. And all these people we're married to, and we treat everyone with respect and integrity. They treat us that way as well.
Yep, it comes back to you. Absolutely. Well, for me, it would be like a kid in a candy store and very dangerous to be in your stores and have all of this amazing jewelry around me. So I don't know how you do it.
It is. It's very tempting.
Yes,
and a
absolutely.
lot of fun. A lot of hard work, though.
Oh, I'm sure. Now, you and Mark are big animal lovers, and you are a bona fide animal activist. In 2010, I think it was, you created Rescue Paw Foundation.
Yeah.
Tell us about Rescue Paw and what it is that they do.
Okay, well, what happened was I had always been interested in animals. My mother used to bring home every kind of animal you can imagine. She gave me the passion for animals and how much they give back to us. And when she died, I really thought, in a way to honor her, that I would love to help and be active in helping animals. and I've been doing it for many years. But what I realized is that doing it and giving money and not knowing where the money is going and how it's being held accountable is not what I wanted to do. I wanted to know where my money was going and how it was going to help, directly help. And what I did was I formed the Rescue Paw Foundation, and I created a jewelry line. And the jewelry line is paw jewelry, and the proceeds, much of the proceeds, go towards the foundation, and that helps to rescue, vet, transport animals, and help shelters in need. What we do, that's our mission. To this date, I've rescued almost 3,000 dogs, and as a matter of fact, I have a transport leaving today. I work out of the South, and I have a wonderful woman, Bobby Taylor, who works in Alabama, poorest county in Alabama. She has a shelter that is in desperate need of help always.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, why you chose Alabama as your major focus for this past year.
Well, it's funny because she actually chose me, and, it came about when Hurricane Katrina came, and all the animals were being dumped into shelters in all these areas, and I signed a petition against BP Oil, and I asked them to help with the animals in the shelters and to see what they could do. And that's when people from that area started contacting me. And that's how it came about to focus on the South. And I was led to a rescuer in Moulton, Alabama, who her whole life is about saving animals. And she's dedicated everything she has, and she works tirelessly to do so. And I work with her, and we save dogs every day.
Wonderful.
And I also work out of Texas also with a great organization as well. And, and my work is also expanded to up here, and I do a lot of work in Long Island.
Okay, great. I want to ask you, Candy, to hold that thought because we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, I want to talk about the individual jewelry pieces that you've created through London Jewelers to help animals and how our listeners can get them. So sit back. We'll be right back after a commercial break.
Sit. Stay. We'll be right back, right after we kibble a little with our sponsors.
It's dinner time in America, where more pet parents trust PetSmart for natural and expert-recommended foods than any place else. And now, we've added more than 100 new varieties to our already wide selection of your favorite brands, like Simply Nourish, Authority, Wellness, Science Diet, and more. Do what's best for your pet. At PetSmart, happiness in store.
Go to PetSmartDeal.com to find out this week's coupon code and save up to 30% on food, treats, toys, and more. And get free shipping on orders of $49. Go to PetSmartDeal.com. PetSmartDeal.com.
Hi, I'm Dr. Robin Gansert, President and CEO of American Humane Association, the country's first national humane organization. Here to tell you about our new show, Be Humane, on Pet Life Radio. Each week, we'll be bringing you the latest news and issues affecting our animal friends, and we'll also be bringing you interviews with Hollywood's biggest animal advocates, here to share tales about their pets and what they're doing to promote a more humane world. Our own highly experienced staff and friends of the organization will also join us each week to share what they're up to in the animal world. I hope you'll stop by. Until then, let's always remember to be humane.
Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
We're back. You're with Bark and Swagger on Pet Life Radio, and we're talking with Candy Udell, President of London Jewelers and founder of Rescue Paw Foundation. Candy, we were talking about the amazing work that you're doing with Rescue Paw in the South specifically, but also up here in the Northeast, and how you've used London Jewelers as a platform to design pieces that give back to Rescue Paw and other shelters. I would love to know more about these pieces, so tell us a little bit about them, and our listeners can go on the Bark and Swagger page on Pet Life Radio and see what we're talking about.
Well, the jewelry was designed with the purpose of saving animals and to
Beautiful.
also to help with education and spay-neuter. And the money that is used from this goes to spay-neuter programs and humane education programs, as well as the other things to transport the vetting and rescuing of animals. The pieces are beautiful. They're all designed with a paw, and there are pieces, they come in silver, sterling silver, they come in gold, 14-karat gold, yellow gold, white gold, and rose gold. And they come as bracelets, earrings, necklaces. We have dog tags that go on dog collars that are made out of stainless steel. It's a pretty big line, actually.
They're beautiful.
Yeah, and there's something for everyone. They're really beautiful pieces, very wearable, very good quality, and they make a great gift to give someone who has a pet. They can be engraved. They're just really, really beautiful to wear and fun to show off, and they start at $49.
Yeah, I was going to say, you were saying there's something for everyone. There are simple pieces, there are pieces that have bling, and they are reasonable. So I wanted to ask you, yes, about the price range of these pieces and how someone can buy.
Well, the price range starts at $49, and it goes up to about $1,600. That's the highest price point right now. We can custom make anything also. So if somebody wanted to do something custom made for their dog or their cat, we can do that as well. And they can be purchased through the London Jewelers website. And
that's londonjewelers.com.
Yes. LondonJewelers.com. They can be purchased on our website, and we have a special person that handles that, so the orders are expedited very quickly.
Wonderful. So listeners, if you want to get something beautiful to wear to show your love for your pet and give back at the same time to a wonderful, wonderful cause, go on londonjewelers.com and find the piece that's perfect for you.
I work with shelters on this as well, and if they we give them a promo code, and if they sign up and send it out to their customers or their people who follow them, their email blast, we give back a portion of the proceeds to their individual shelter as well.
Wonderful, wonderful. How many shelters are you involved with?
Right now, I would say probably around, selling the program, there's quite a few. Actively involved with transport, I would say probably about 5, and I'm always looking for more. We make sure to give back to everyone that takes our dogs, and we work really nicely with them. And, I've been able to help these shelters with many things because they're helping me.
Absolutely. I mean, you guys on the field are the angels. That's what I like to call you. So everybody working together for the same cause, it makes absolute sense.
Yes, I have a rescue today going to Mainline Rescue in Pennsylvania. Today he's taking 18 dogs.
Oh, my goodness.
And puppies. And he's taking a mama and her puppies
and
12 larger dogs. So, this happens 2-3 times a month, and we try to get at least 60 out a month.
Well, I think that the small rescue organizations like Rescue Paw and some others that I've come into contact with are really the wave of the future. Yours are the people really on the ground doing the transporting and placing the animals. And the big boys, the big guns, are working maybe more deeply into issues, big picture issues, legislation, exactly.
Yeah. I think that giving to the small local shelters in your area is a very wise thing to do.
Yes, yes.
You can always track where the money goes.
Yep, exactly. Well, in addition to this beautiful collection of Rescue Paw jewelry, you also do pieces here and there that are auctioned off to, benefit a particular organization. And they are the big pieces, the very blingy pieces. One that I was lucky enough to see when I met you at the By the Way ball was the Hope Collar. And the Hope Collar is stunning, and I would love for you to tell our listeners about that.
Well, the Hope Collar was created for rescue specifically. It is a beautiful collar that is set with diamonds and rubies, and it has a flower and a bow on the collar that slides on and off, and it can be taken off so it can be worn by the owner, the human owner,
nice,
as well as the pet.
Yeah.
And it has a leash with diamonds on the bows also.
Oh,
and
my.
It took, I think, about 30 hours of labor to produce. It's got a lot of diamonds in it. I believe it has maybe around 15 or 17 carats of diamonds. I don't have the information.
Yeah, it's incredible. It is an absolutely stunning piece, and you can see it on the Bark and Swagger page of Pet Life Radio. So you can see how magnificent it is, and it was all handmade.
Yeah, all handmade.
Yeah. The other thing that you and I have talked about, which I think is really interesting and also seems to be a wave of the future that more and more rescue organizations are doing, is getting involved in the education space in addition to hands-on rescue. Tell us about your education program in schools for kids through Rescue Paw.
Well, I decided that we needed to do education and spay-neuter programs to get to the root of the problem. Rescuing dogs is really wonderful, but it's just a Band-Aid on the larger problem. So as I was thinking, I thought the best way to handle this is to get to the root. And what I did was I went to a program called HEART, and they're working with me, and we've tailor-created programs for individual communities that are interested in humane education. We've been able to get it into school systems to work with retired teachers on general assemblies, also to get it into fire department, police department, Cub Scouts, whatever group that would like to have it, program is available. And
wonderful.
I would love to be able to use this program. We've already started in Nassau County in Long Island. It's underway in Alabama in Moulton. It will be starting in the fall. We have the program written up. People have been trained and ready to go, and they've been trained also in Nassau County, ready to bring the program elsewhere, because I really believe that it starts with children. You can change their way of thinking and teach them to be nice to animals and teach them all about the basics, the ABCs of having a pet, where to get it, how to handle it, how to approach a pet. There are so many important things that they need to learn.
Yes.
That it's such a useful tool.
And how old are the children that are, sort of the main target for this program?
Well, the program is tailor-written for different age groups. So we're starting with grades 4 through 6, as we believe that we feel this is a vital time where it's most impressionable.
Absolutely.
It's also tailored for grades older, for middle school and high school, and college programs as well.
Wonderful. Very ambitious. If there are any listeners who are involved in the education system and want to get in touch with Candy to maybe bring it to your area, to a school system, they can reach you through londonjewelers.com, Candy?
Yeah.
Wonderful.
Go through londonjewelers.com and I will get the message. I have a Facebook page. It's called Our Cause for Paws. And you can go on to that as well to see some of the work we've been doing. And we post all the time. So any comments or anything can also be done through there as well.
Great. And also, ourcauseforpaws.org is the website for Rescue Paw Foundation. Is that right?
Right. Yeah.
And you can get more information on exactly what Candy and her team are doing to help animals.
Yeah. Now, we're also working on spay-neuter. And that's a very interesting point. And I think what people need to know, the most important thing, is that they should spay-neuter their pets. They should teach their children to be kind to animals. And they should help to fight legislation laws against animal cruelty. And you could do that by contacting your senators and congressmen. Please vote. There's a bill coming up in New York. and we hope that it passes. And, just keep aware of what's going on in the world of legislation as well.
Yeah, and I mean, there's nothing that gets adults more involved better than children being passionate and involved about something. So kids getting out there and doing whatever they can, even in their small way, cumulatively, it makes a huge difference at the end of the day, right?
Absolutely. And also, it's important to adopt. And if you don't know where to get a
Yes.
dog, call your local shelter, look on the website. You can contact me. I can help you, go through our Cause for Paws.
Wonderful.
Dog posted. There's so many venues to find a dog, even if it takes a little bit of effort. But please do not buy a dog. Please adopt one.
Absolutely. And that goes for, pet shops too, because when you go into a pet store and buy a dog, inevitably it's coming from a puppy mill, and that puppy may be adorable and needs a good home, but what you're doing is you're prolonging the suffering of those puppies, mommies and daddies, who live in absolutely horrible conditions in these puppy mills.
Very true. And we have to do legislation on that front.
Absolutely. Yeah. I am so sorry that we're out of time, Candy. I absolutely love talking to you. I want to thank you so much for being on the show. I want to thank Mark Winter, our producer, for making the show possible. And once again, if you want to get a beautiful piece and a reasonably priced piece of jewelry to show how you love your pet and to support animal rescue, you can go to londonjewelers.com and find the piece that's perfect for you. And if you want to learn more about Rescue Paw Foundation and what Candy does, you can go to ourcauseforpaws.org. Thank you, Candy, and I look forward to us speaking again.
Yes, thank you very much. I really appreciate it, and I hope that many animals get adopted and that we can sell a lot of jewelry to be able to rescue a lot more.
Amen. Amen. I want to thank my listeners for joining in. And until next time, remember, when fierce fashion calls, bark and swagger.
Let's Talk Pets, every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.